Hello, my name is Darwin Sandoval, and I attend St. Joseph's University. It means absolutely everything to me. I'm the first person to go to college in my family. I'm the first person to graduate college from my family and receive my bachelor's degree. Achieving my DPT or being able to get my DPT would just mean simply that I accomplished one of my goals in life, one of my dreams, and I'll finally have the opportunity to not only have a positive impact on other people's lives, but at the same time be able to provide for my family as well. So there's two main people who inspired me to pursue a career in physical therapy. The first person was my mom. I went with her to one of her physical therapy appointments a few years ago for her sciatica pain, and she wasn't treated very well. Her experience wasn't that well there. A lot of the physical therapists that were there did not speak Spanish. So I started to investigate a little bit about physical therapy, and I realized that there weren't many Latinos or Hispanic physical therapists. And I know for a fact that it can be scary for a Latino or Hispanic from anywhere to go to a doctor's office or physical therapy office or just anything related to healthcare and be shy or be scared for that same reason, because you might not get the same care as you'll get as, say, if someone already speaks English. Or so that was the first person who ignited my flame and ignited my pursuit of physical therapy. And then the second person was my son, Emiliano. He was born having Down syndrome, and since he was born, since I can remember, he's had physical therapy in his life, and that ignited another passion of mine to possibly getting into pediatrics, early intervention therapy. That way I can help other families who are in a similar position that I am and was in, because I feel like I would have a little bit more empathy, and just being that I was in their shoes, I can be a top-notch physical therapist in that realm as well. So I live in South Jersey, Hamilton, New Jersey to be specific. It's very close to Philadelphia. It's about a 30-mile ride to Philadelphia, so it's relatively close to home. So being that I'm a father, I didn't want to be too far away from my son, needing that he needs a lot of attention as well. So that being said, I decided to choose SJU because it was close to home. It's a shorter program. It's only a 2.5 year program. I love the campus when I went. It's nice and chill. It's in West Philadelphia. So it's nice and relaxing. And then during my interview and during my shadowing that I was able to do, see how they ran courses and stuff like that. The faculty, everyone in that campus was extremely friendly. They were extremely welcoming. I felt like they were emphasizing a lot of diversity and inclusion, and that's exactly where I'm at as well in life. Like I want to bring more diversity to this field, and I feel like they were also promoting that as well. And I just felt like it was almost a match made in heaven in that regard. So yeah, that's why I chose SJU. One big lesson that has really stuck out to me while I've been at school is making sure you have balance. Make sure you have balance, do other things, make sure you're not studying until midnight or 11 o'clock or whatever it is time being. And I like make sure you have enough sleep. So I'm trying to say, make sure you have the balance of knowing when to stop studying. Because I know for a fact for us, 2.5 year program, it can get very stressing having to consume a lot of the knowledge. And sometimes I would feel like there wasn't enough time in the day to consume everything that I needed to consume for that day or for that week. And that was a big difference from my first semester to my second semester, was that it's okay if you don't get through everything that you thought you were going to get through in that day, because then later on, if you try to do that, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to stress, it can lead to mental health problems. So it's very important to really take care of your mental health while you're in PT school. I think the biggest surprise that I've had was that your work ethic needs to be, or your work ethic and your discipline needs to be a little bit more enhanced in graduate school, because I noticed that what I was doing in undergrad wasn't necessarily working in the beginning part of graduate school. That being said, the biggest take, of course, is in undergrad you have a lot of classes where it doesn't really pertain to your major, so you can just like brush it off, or you can like study for it like a and then you can still do well in PT school and graduate school. It's, you have to really make sure it's not just about learning material to pass a test. It's really learning stuff to retain this information so that it becomes secondhand to you. And I think in the beginning, it was a little bit of adjustment period for not only for me, but for a lot of classmates, based on the feedback that I was getting from my classmates as well. But again, it's just learning how to adapt and just doing better in regards as to trying to retain the information rather than just learning to pass. That's, yeah, been my biggest take. So while I was an undergraduate, I was fortunate enough to be an aide at an outpatient clinic, and I absolutely loved it there. I had a lot of fun working with a lot of the older populations, like the geriatrics. So I've interest in continuing to work with geriatrics. I love hearing their stories. I love making them feel better. I think they're very genuine when they have a positive experience in physical therapy. I like the vibes that they have with like the old school music they like to hear while there. So I do like the outpatient setting. I do like to work with geriatrics. I'm a big sports guy. I've loved sports since I can remember, all types of sports as well. So I definitely have an interest in pursuing possibly something along where like sports ortho as well, possibly working with young athletes. I'm trying to get them back into shape, or just trying to get them back into their specific sport that they want to go to after an injury or after surgery. And then finally, like I mentioned before, I do want to have the opportunity to work in early intervention as well. I feel like it's my duty to get into early intervention. That way I can be there for families that, again, are going through very similar situations that I am going through with my son. So those are the three main areas that I'm looking into. Hopefully I'm able to get into all three. If not, one of them would be good starting off at least, and then hopefully I can dive into a little bit of everything later on in my career. Dr. Packle is the head of the program at SJU. She constantly sends us emails of scholarship opportunities, DEI opportunities. So, not too long ago during the summertime, she sent out an email of the Rising Tide Scholarship, emphasizing for us to really get on it. So, I saw the opportunity and I went for it. I mean, everyone knows in graduate school that any opportunity you can have to make a little bit more money or just receive a little bit more money, definitely do it, just because of how expensive graduate school can be. I'm very, very grateful to Dr. Packle for introducing us, or sending us that email that introduced me to the Rising Tide Foundation. My biggest advice for any Rising Tide scholarship applicant in the future would be to be yourself. Really speak from the heart when you're interviewed, and really, really, really let everyone know the real reason why you are pursuing a career in physical therapy. Just, that's what I did. I spoke from the heart. I have a real meaning behind on why I want to be a physical therapist. Just make sure that you also have great relationships with other physical therapists. That way, when it comes time to finding a letter of recommendation, you'll have a lot of people who are more than willing to write great things about you as well. I think the most exciting part about being a Rising Tide scholar would be just the networking opportunity. That's my biggest take, is just being able to build long lasting friendships, being able to have a mentor or be a mentor to future DPT students that might be in the same path as I am right now, being able to build more professionally, as well as just having just the opportunity of interacting with the future physical therapist of this world. I think that's a great opportunity that I'm very, very, very grateful for. And just I want to take opportunities of every sandbar meeting, making sure I put my name out there, making sure I'm getting to know a lot of the other Rising Tide scholars. And yeah, that's basically it.